Hello, my dear. Let's talk about the price of growth today. Honestly, I don't think we talk enough about the grief that comes with growth. People don't talk enough about all the goodbyes on the way to growth, all the people, all the places, all the things, all the ideas that you have to let go of as you choose to grow. And yes, growth, it is a choice. You can choose to stay stagnant and stuck in the muck and the mire of your everyday life and choose to settle, choose to stay in your comfort zone, or you can choose to grow. So it's all a choice. And so let's talk about that today. So, some of the things that we have to say goodbye to as we choose to grow when we think about people, when we think about places, when we think about things, when we think about situations, ideas. So let's think about it. So people, so thinking about relationships that you outgrow because you have grown in different ways personally, professionally, as far as mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, all these different ways that you choose to grow, you outgrow the system, the circle that you used to be in. And so those people. And so saying goodbye to those relationships. And sometimes it's hard to say goodbye to those relationships that you outgrow. And so thinking about that, thinking about places. So places that you outgrow. So maybe it's a job, maybe it's a place of your hometown. So your hometown no longer fits the idea of where you're called to go to, the purpose that that God has for you. And so thinking about the places that you've outgrown. So thinking about some of these places, these jobs, these hometowns, these communities. Sometimes the ideas and the values, they no longer mesh together. And so those things become like a monument that you see, that you visit, but it no longer is a piece of who you are. And so thinking about, so that's people, that's places. What about situations? So let's think about situations or things that you outgrow. So maybe that looks like unhealthy ways of coping. And so maybe that's using sex or using money to overspend to fit in. Maybe it's using substance use to fit in that no longer fits with where you want to go, where you want to grow, how you want to achieve the next level. And so thinking about these unhealthy ways of coping. And so what are the ways that you've used to cope that no longer fit, that no longer make sense, that are no longer the best, healthiest way to use? And so let's think about those ways. So maybe it's eating, maybe it's not having a healthy routine. So like sleep, so like um, eating, just having just a regular daily schedule, a daily rhythm of balance and work and rest and play. So unhealthy ways of coping. Other things like something as simple as like clothes or household items will always say, hey, I'll get to those things when, or I'll use that thing soon, or I hope to use this thing at this time. And a year goes by, 2 years goes by, and that thing is just still sitting there unused, waiting for this special day. And the special day is now, or either it's no longer serving a purpose. So I think that's what's hard about the grief that comes with growth. You have to be honest with, hey, these things were great in a different season of my life, but they no longer fit with this season of my life. And so even as simple as changing out clothes with the season, the same is true with all these different other pieces that we're looking at. So people, places, situations, things. And so, lastly, let's look at ideas. And so, ideas could be our belief systems that have been keeping us in a certain pigeonhole spot. And so, belief systems of I'm not good enough, or this is only what I'm supposed to achieve based on my family line that I come from, the town that I grew up in. This is only the thing that I'm good enough for, which also looks like ideas of people pleasing. And so I'm doing all these things to make other people happy, but I'm not making myself happy. And so when you choose to grow, you choose to put your needs first, you choose to honor your needs. You're honoring other people. Like, don't forget to do that because that's important, to honor other people. However, people pleasing and doing things that no longer serve you, then it's not a win-win. And so, what things do we need to restructure? Do you need to restructure people, relationships? Do you need to restructure your connection to places? Do you need to restructure and let go of any situations, any things, any unhealthy ways of coping, any ideas, any belief systems that no longer serve you? And so taking a moment just to like lean into that. And so the grief that comes with growth, like it's hard to let go of those things. If you're being honest, it's hard to let go. It's so much easier to stay in the comfort zone. It's so much easier to keep life on a repeat because I know what I can expect. But there's no growth there, my friend. No growth at all. So as you choose to grow, I want you to get crystal clear on how these people, places, and things and ideas that you're holding on to, I want you to get crystal clear on how these things are holding you back, how they're keeping you stuck, how they're keeping you trapped in a life and an idea, and keeping you back from holding your purpose with to leaning into your dreams. And so why do you think you're holding on so tightly? Get honest with yourself. Be honest. What are the things that's holding you back? So lean into your heart, whether you want to take some time to pause this episode and come back to it when you have some journal paper and you can take some time to kind of reflect and lean into it. But think about, why do I hold on to these things? Why do I hold on so tightly? Why do I not want to let go? Like, what is holding me back from growing? And so, here's a couple of ideas that I have that I would like to run past you. And I could be totally wrong. I'm human, so I could be totally wrong. So I encourage you to dig deep to find your truth. So what resonates with you, what speaks to you, what is coming up for you as we lean into this today. So, but for me, what I have found as in my personal life and also in my professional life as a mental health therapist, as a wellness and a mindset coach, what I found is that many of us, me included, but we all choose to stay in a comfort zone because of many different reasons. And so let's walk through some of these reasons and see what sounds true to you and see, why are we choosing to stay so long in these spaces? So sometimes we do it out of for the sake of loyalty. And so loyalty, so counting all the time invested in this relationship, this job, this community, this whatever, you name whatever that thing is that you're so ingrained in, that belief system, that idea, like you're so ingrained to that loyalty of the time that you've invested into it. Maybe it's guilt. So guilt can get in the way of us staying in the comfort zone. So feeling guilty for leaving others behind, feeling guilty for doing better, feeling guilty for not putting others before us, because self-care is important. You know what I mean? And so kind of taking care of you first. And so prioritizing what's important, having healthy boundaries, that you're not always putting others' needs always before you. So sometimes that guilt can eat us up and hold us back and keep us from leaning into growth. What about hope? So sometimes hoping that it's going to get better. So this idea that I'm hoping and then I'm just wishing that, or this person, I have this hope that this relationship's going to get better. I have this hope that the job is going to get better. I have this hope that things are going to change. But what things have showed you time and time again, it hasn't changed. And so doing the same thing over and expecting different results over and over, at one point you need to take a step back and just say, hey, this isn't working. And I need to pivot. I need to switch gears. And so let's think about fear. So the fear of starting over, the fear of being successful, the fear that I don't have enough, the fear that I'm not good enough. So fear is a big one that I see often come up. And truly for me, I thank God that honestly he set me free from the heaviness that comes with fear, the paralyzing um I don't know, the paralyzing weightiness of fear that makes you feel like I can't do anything. And so I thank God that through lots of therapy, through lots of supportive friends and family, that I've overcome, and a lot of prayer, thank, like all those different pieces, reflecting, taking time to reflect. And so yeah, leaning into fear. So is it fear that's holding you back from growing, that's keeping you stuck? So fear from starting over. So thinking that at least I won't, at least if I stay here in this space being this relationship, this space being this job, that I feel like I'm worth more, this community, this idea, again, this belief system. So fear that I know, at least I know what I have now. And so I think that's one piece too, is like, I know what I have now. So the fear of the unknown. And so fear of the unknown, fear of starting over, fear of not knowing what to expect from a future relationship, a future situation, a future job, a future community, a future new version of you, all these different things. The fear of not being enough, not good enough, not smart enough, not pretty enough, like all the enoughness. And so it just boils down to like a scarcity mindset. And so kind of the opposite of abundance mindset. And so just thinking that I won't get, like things won't get any better. And so that it's always going to be this way. And so pay attention. So when you hear those absolutes, like tune in, pay attention to some of those absolutes, because absolutes, what's true about absolutes? They're absolutely not always true. So pay attention to those things. What is holding you back? Saying goodbye is hard when all you want to do is hold on. All you want to do is stay in your comfort zone, stay in what is familiar. But growth, like real growth, it requires you to shed and to let go, and to let go with calculated risk. So I'm not telling you to be super risk taking. True growth, it requires you to let go. It requires you to let go when all you want to do is hold on. But growth, it's not in this area of staying stuck and stagnant. Those are risky things to stay into. But risk is choosing to grow. And so stuckness, finding yourself in stuckness in the past version of who you were, the past ideas that no longer serve you. So stuckness in the routines that no longer serve you, or the coping mechanisms that you were using no longer serve you. Stuck in the comfort zone. we're trapped. I've heard a lot of people say that I feel trapped. And so, what are these things that is holding you back? The truth is, there's no growth that happens in staying mediocre, staying stuck, staying trapped, staying in the comfort zone, staying in the routine, staying in the mundane. There's no growth there. There's no ounce of growth. And so it's a choice. I dare you to choose. And on the path to becoming the best version of you, you're going to find that it takes a lot of grit. Like it takes a lot of grit and determination to hope for more, to do more, and to be more, to dare to be more. Like it takes a lot. And I get that. But it's worth it. People can sometimes fall into this fallacy that and a daydream of becoming an overnight success. And from the outside looking in, those are just stories. Those are their stories. But what many people don't see in all these overnight success stories and the TikTok overnight rapid success to stardom, like millions of followers. But what many people don't see is in the overnight success stories is the many sleepless nights, the many tears, the many betrayals, the many goodbyes that prepared them for what they're walking into now. And so you get to see this polished version of them, and you may be comparing yourself to their polished version of their family, their vacation, their finances, but you didn't see what they had to do, the sacrifices they had to go through in order to grow. And so, true success, I mean, like true growth, it takes lots and lots of preparation. That's because otherwise, the overnight successes that do come fly by night, they won't stand. They'll be a one-hit wonder, and they'll be here today and gone tomorrow. They won't have nothing to stand on, no substance. And so true success, true growth takes a lot of preparation, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of putting in the work and showing up consistently for yourself and honoring yourself, your truth, your values, your journey, honoring others, but also putting you first. But when that preparation meets grace, when that preparation meets grace, woo, I'm telling you, that's the secret sauce. That's the secret sauce right there. Preparation meets grace. I won't speak for anyone else, but I will definitely testify that God has truly been good to me. And so, because of all the brokenness, all the broken places that I've been through with people, places, things, family, relationships, jobs, communities, ideas, ways of coping, all these unhealthy versions of myself that I had to choose to grow and move on and let go of, all these different places. I now live in a place of peace. I now live with deep joy, deep appreciation for the relationships and the people and the places that I get to walk into and to be a part of, the communities I get to be a part of. And so I serve others now from a deep place of love because I know what it means to be broken, but also I know what it means to have more than enough. So I know what it means to have, as the Bible says, I know what it means to have lack, but I also know what it means to have abundance and have more than enough. And so I get to lead my community, my family, my job, my clients, my friends. I get to lead from a place of grace, from a place of love. And many days, I'm going to be honest, it's a supernatural grace. It's a supernatural grace that I tap into every day. Like, God, I need an extra layer of grace, an extra layer of support, an extra layer of discernment, an extra layer of strength. And so thinking about, because I choose to grow, I want to be different. I want to be better today than I was yesterday. I want to be better this year than I was last year. I want to be better tomorrow and so I just want to continue to grow. And so I invite you to join the club that no one really wants to sign up for, but you know that it's the next step. It's the next step in your journey. So the next step to taking you to a healed and a healthy version of yourself. And maybe it's the next step in your career. Maybe it's the next step in your family. So maybe you want to expand your family, or maybe you want to leave your family. Who knows? But whatever decisions you're struggling with in this moment, maybe you want more finances or more financial wellness. Maybe you want, and so just thinking about what are the things that you want more of, the abundance. And so putting it out there, but also putting your money where your mouth is and daring to do it too. And so the next step is just to take an intentional, a mindful step. And if you don't know how to take those steps, get a mentor, get a wellness coach, get a mindset coach, get a mental health therapist, all those different things. I'm happy to help you. If there's an opportunity, I'd be happy to help you. And so you can reach out and connect with me at darrenwell.com and check out some of the resources on my website and just to see and just shoot me an email. And you can shoot me an email at info@darrenwell.com and just see if that's a good fit. But whatever that step is, get plugged in and look into the tools of what you need to get to that next level. And don't stop growing. Until you take your last breath on this earth, I dare you to continue to grow. So maybe it's taking that next step in finding healthy habits. Maybe it's taking the next step in having a healthy mindset. Maybe it's taking the next step in having a healthy relationship with friends or healthy relationship with your partner, healthy relationship with your family. So what are those next steps that you need to take? And so those are the steps that I encourage you to lean into. So let's just pause and let's just get real for a moment. So this whole podcast today is just about getting real with yourself, being honest with yourself, and thinking about what do you really want. And so choosing to grow is looking at the future with a hope and an expectation. So manifestation, like that's this new buzzword that everybody's talking about, but manifestation is literally just putting your hopes there and embodying how do you want to feel? What do you envision of what that's going to look like when you get to that next level? And so, what do you really want? So, like a child that dares to take the risk, unfeathered, untethered about the weight of the world. So I'm talking to the dreamer in you, the dreamer in you that hopes for a better life, a different life, an abundant life. What's holding you back? Are you so loyal to the idea or the thing that you're so scared to let go of? Are you struggling with fear or guilt that is keeping you back? Are you more loyal to the job, the friendship, the partner, the family, the lifestyle that you've built, that you're so willing to sacrifice all those things? You're willing to sacrifice those things for your growth. Is that what you're wanting to do? Be honest with yourself. Are you wanting to sacrifice those things for your happiness? Are you willing to sacrifice those things for your truth, your divine purpose, living in alignment with who you're called to be? The truth is, my dear, you we all were But you, my dear, you were created for so much more. We were all created for a purpose. We were all created for abundance. So not just abundance in finances. I think that's this, again, a fallacy that this abundance equals finances, but abundance is in mindset, abundance in health, abundance in relationships, abundance in time. So abundance in every sense of the word. So not mediocreness, not just enough, not just enough to get by, not just simply good, but actually great. You were created to be great. The truth is, my dear, you were created for so much more. We were all created for so much more. We were all created for abundance, to live in abundance, to walk in abundance, to be in abundance. And so it's a fallacy to think that abundance equates to finances. Abundance is no more than abundance in health, abundance in relationships, abundance in time, abundance in mindset, abundance in relationships, like abundance in everything, health, wealth, finances, relationships, all the things. So, but not mediocreness. We were not created for mediocreness, not created for just enough. So I'm just doing just enough to get by in this job. I'm doing just enough to get by in this relationship. I'm showing up just enough to barely show up for myself. Like just enough, like that's not good enough. Not just enough is just not simply good enough, but actually you're called to be great. You, my dear, hear me. My dear, you were called to be great. So be that. I dare you to be great today. I dare you to be great. You got this. So, who are you? Who are you called to be? Are you called to be the next greatest author? Are you called to be the next greatest web designer? Are you called to be the next greatest mom or dad? Are you called to be the next greatest leader, the next greatest CEO, the next greatest inventor? Like, who are you called to be? And so, the growth. Are you called to change the world? Are you called to solve world poverty? Are you called to create world peace? Like, who are you called to be? Who are you? What's on the other side of growth for you? And the world is waiting for you to do these things. The world is waiting for you to come into the fullness of who you're called to be. And many things will separate the good from the great. That's true. It really is. Many things separate the good from the great. So it's you can be good all day, every day, which for me is just mediocre. It's just barely enough to get by. But what separates the good from the great, and the greatest of all of them is love. And so, and that goes back to the truest love that you have for yourself. So, yes, true love for others, but you can't give to others what you don't have. True love that's been forged deep in the fire, deep in the brokenness and healing and stronger, rebuilt, like all the things. And that's sweet and that comes with the sweetness of goodbyes and the sadness of goodbyes. True love, it gives you the grit in order to grow. And that's what it takes. It's hard. It is super hard. And that's what it takes to grow. True love, true love for yourself, true love for the future you. True love that gives you grace when you keep showing up for yourself, when you keep showing up for the values that matter to you, the values that you hold true each and every day, when you keep showing up, growth. It's going to feel uncomfortable. But my dear, it's only for a little while. And then you'll get to lean into all the fullness of what that growth entails. And so lean into the uncomfortable moments. That's part of the grit that it's going to take. That's where you ask for grace. That's where you lean into grace. You do your work and prepare, but that's how it's done. Deep down, there's a knowing. And there's a knowing, and that knowing, even if it feels super small, I dare you to fan the flame. I dare you to stoke the fire little by little. It's going to grow. Ma'am, sir, there's pain and there's grief that comes with growing, but you need to let go in order to grow. I want to remind you that the pain is temporary. The grief that you're feeling, the weightiness that you're feeling, it's temporary. So I believe a lot in the Bible. So the Bible shares that it's not even worthy to be compared to the glory that's going to be revealed. So the weightiness, the pain that you're experiencing right now, it's going to be so much better on the other side. There's going to be so much joy, so much peace, so much abundance, so much healthiness on the other side. And so I dare you. I dare you to dream that a dream that is so big, so audacious, just super big. And I dare you to dream it. I dare you to grow. All right. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I dare you to chase your biggest and wildest dreams. Let's go. All right, guys. Have a beautiful day. Take care. Keep living, keep loving, and keep daring well. Take care, my dear. God bless.